The addiction's not so much anymore.
The whole,
Okay, let me rephrase that. I don't want to give the wrong impression. Once an addict, always an addict.
yeah, but
Know that. So,
that's
do I
not
fight it
the
every day?
biggest.
Yeah. Do I fight it every day? Yeah, but it's not as much as it used to be. It's over 2.5 years now clean. So,
Okay, so you're
you know,
feeling patterned
yeah,
and feeling.
yeah. I'm good now. Like I'm stable. I'm a good stable point. So now I'm okay. Uh, every day, as for like every day being a battle, I have to battle myself as far as my institutionalization problems, my PTSD. I have PTSD from prison, and I have PTSD from getting shot. Um,
Yeah.
every time I go to sleep, I'm back in prison. Every time I daydream, I'm getting shot.
Wow, that's a very, very. I can't imagine that's. It's a tough place to be and to live.
Well, 8 years at the age of 19, they they lie when they tell you that after you serve this time, you're free. This is not. I served 8 years. I did my 5 years on probation. I completed that. My mind is still locked up. My record can never be expunged. Can never vote. Can never do anything. Like seriously, like
You're a
I'm free? No.
19-year-old kid, and you will pay for that for the rest of your life.
Yes.
And they will make sure it's, other nations, and I can't speak for everybody. There are nations who don't do that. America does that.
Yeah.
There are nations
America is the leading nation in locking up its people.
that's what we do. Oh, freedom, liberty, and justice for all, except for the, 25% of the world that happen to live here and locked up. Yeah, except for the people who are locked up. It's
And
we
you better be part of the higher um, echelon of society, otherwise you're going to go to prison.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Wow. So you have had one journey and a half, maybe like 1,000 journeys in one life.
Not over with yet.
Right, I know. You still. Wow. Can I ask you a couple more questions? Tell me if you have to go.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
this is I I'm very I was lucky. One thing my parents did right is they taught us to question and think and analyze. And I come from a long line of over analyzers. We hoping it was a different generation, but that's what
I
happened.
got you.
And so I'm constantly trying to. I want to understand. I'm a real feel person. I want to understand that it's like you shed so much light upon a lot of this. Like when you were younger, so it wasn't, did you see other people like into the like highly racist stuff, or like what would you say and how did you feel about like
Growing up?
weren't raised, yeah, growing up, like were you raised racist or not really? Just
No.
not really?
No, my mom, right? No, 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 no. Most of my friends growing up were black.
Interesting.
After prison, my best friend that got shot and killed was black. That's my best friend.
Yeah.
I've never been racist like that.
Yeah.
Like I hate people that are racist towards me, and I'll sling all kinds. Used to sling all kinds of hate rhetoric towards them to piss them off because they're coming at me. But my whole justification to myself was, oh, I'm not really racist. I just hate people that hate on me. So it's like the reverse racism ploy.
Right. Oh, okay. So like, because
Yeah.
a lot of people interesting. The people that I deal with a lot are actually true proud racists.
Yeah.
They literally believe like all this, it's like they refuse to like learn. They want to hate a group of people. They want to hate so badly that like they won't stop. They don't care what the truth is. They don't want the truth. They just want to hate. And it's like
I can tell you, okay, I think I know more about black culture than I know about white culture. I'm gonna be real with you. I've lived in the hood. I've lived alongside. Like I said, I was in an all-black neighborhood when I got shot. Mm-hmm. It's safest for me there.
Why is that?
Because it's where I grew up. I grew up in the hood. I was a drug dealer, and I grew up there. Okay. Safest place for me is in the hood.
Because your
my people are all black.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the hood knows me. I know them. We're good. It's straight. Like,
first thing they think of is, and when they think of the Aryan, they think of racism.
who?
Um,
Not in Mississippi, they don't.
Not in Mississippi, no, but in the general like population who don't know anything.
Yes, yes. People that don't know anything, yes. But I could go to downtown Jackson, take my shirt off in any hood and walk through it and be good. And I am covered. Like, here, do you want to see my chest? It's like a real flag and everything.
Sure. I'm not shy. Oh my gosh.
So it goes all the way across, and I have everything from.
And these are
like, I have a lot more than a little bit of hate tattoos I need to get covered up.
Yeah.
But
and these are all from basically being.
Not all of them, yeah, most of them.
Affiliated.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's kind of just like a lifestyle. I mean, just like you think of, how do you compare it to like Crips and Bloods and all? I mean, how do you compare that kind of? I mean.
They are a street gang. We were a paramilitary organization that the government used. The government would technically deem a domestic terrorist organization.
Okay, so it is deemed a.
By some, yeah.
Terror. Is it by our federal government, or?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I could look that up easily. Probably.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I remember that was one of our biggest fears because, like, we had to dance around some different things. I'm a technology whiz, so like, I introduced a lot of other ways for hidden communication and all kinds of other.
You're valuable because you're smart.
Yes. You only get ahead in the Brotherhood one of two ways. You're extremely violent or extremely smart. I don't really care for violence too much.
But you have to be violent in it, though?
Yes. I regret every time I had to do anything to anybody I do.
How did you justify How did you...
I smashed somebody. I'm sorry. I assaulted somebody for the Aryan Brotherhood who ended up being my son's uncle.
Ended up being because you didn't.
I didn't know him.
Oh.
But just a small world, because he got in the way of the Aryan Brotherhood, I flattened him, and I left him laying in a pool of his own blood, and it ended up being like he's dead now. Unfortunately, he died in 2014. We were okay after that, but I did it.
Okay.
Huh?
Not from he didn't die from what you did.
No. But like, I did that for the Brotherhood. It wasn't personal. I was okay with him after that. It was just something had to be done because it was ordered. Nothing personal. And I would tell him.
It sounds military. It was ordered. Interesting.
Yes.
Military.
Yeah.
Very military.
It is military. There's no questioning it. If you question it, you die.
What I'm getting right now is a feel that I've never gotten before, and it's I'm getting a feel for what you're saying. I'm feeling what you're saying, and it's like you're schooling me here.
Yeah, it's paramilitary. It's just, yeah, seriously, it's very materialistic. We had a workout regimen that was ungodly. Like, I still couldn't pass it, and I was doing 750 push-ups a day, just getting it, and like I was working out, doing all kinds of stuff when I was in there.
In the prison, because
yes,
yeah, it's amazing. So it wasn't personal when you did bad things to people. Like, it wasn't personal. Like, it was more like
business. I've assaulted more people than I would like to admit for business.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to say this, and I hope it makes it a little bit better. My personal code was I would never take anybody with me. If I was going after somebody, I would always go by myself.
Why?
The few times I was caught by the administration, they let me go because I did do it by myself.
The administration?
Officers, wardens. Because they had a problem with multiple gang members jumping on one person all the time. All the other gangs did that shit. Not me. If I come at you, it's just me coming at you.
Why?
I was also, but I'm also a black belt.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, and I would train the brothers in hand-to-hand combat and knife fighting, and I would teach them kill points for slow deaths, fast deaths, things like that, just to make them lethal.
Slow deaths, fast deaths.
Yeah, it's a different one if you want to make a point or not. Yeah, you want to hit an artery or something. That's pretty fast. Mm-hmm. Or you can hit and twist their liver, and that's about 12 to 15 hours.
So it depends if it's like you want them to have like revenge, kind of like, or just get rid of.
Yeah,
them.
If you hit their liver, they're going to end up regurgitating their own feces, and that really sends home a point.
Yeah, I can see that. Why did you do it alone? What was kind of valiant about doing it alone? Because
I was man enough that if I had to go do this, I was going to put it on my own shoulders, and that was my own burden to, to carry.
Okay,
if I went by myself, I knew. Huh?
You kind of take responsibility. You mean?
Like, yeah, personally.
I'm personally doing this. It's
and I knew if it was just me, I could control the situation, and I knew that another person wouldn't accidentally kill this idiot.
Yeah, you have all the control, but also all the responsibility too.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you had your own code.
And I can get away with it easier. If I can run my ass into a shower, get rid of everything, wash off real fast, it's a lot easier for one person to do that than 2, 3, 4, 5. I get away with it.
So in prison, people can get away with like pretty horrific things. You're laughing. My naivete is killing you. Well, you know what? It's sort of funny. When I do an interview, a lot of times I don't prep, and it's because I get
okay. No, it's fine. Okay, I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm going to tell you about an instance. And this one here is not funny, but I watched it happen. I was in my zone, watching through the glass, through the tower, into the other zone, and I was watching 30 gangsters circle up around a couple of guys, and they doused 2 of them with hot water, boiling hot water. Skin just rolled off. Mm-hmm. Dropped them 2. The next guy, the last guy, whoever was at his back would come up and stab him in the back and then run back in the line. And they were circling. So wherever he turned, whoever was at his back, he was stabbing him. And they stabbed him and stabbed him and stabbed him and stabbed him. And the police weren't coming in there because they weren't going to get stabbed. So we get to sit there and watch this happen.
Wow.
So I've seen people stab people, put them in their bed, and then like the next day the person get discovered or something.
So running in that place out of there, like they just let people do it, or they can't really control it because you guys are in control, kind of like, or how does that go?
Well, what I'm talking about, a facility called East Mississippi Correctional Facility. During the time period I was there, you can look it up online. There was a lot of violence going there, and Wackenhut, they weren't charging people for murder.
It's just kind of.
So guess what? It's a get out of jail free card. You can kill who you want. It's a psych facility.
So kind of like a free for all a little bit. Wow.
Yeah.
It's like if
I used to carry 2 9-inch long. I used to carry 2 9-inch long plexiglass knives on my thighs. I used to wrap ace bandage around them. Each one. Prison? Yes.
How did you? Excuse again my naivete.
Right, go ahead.
How do you do that?
Which part? Make the knife or carry it?
Is a handmade like a?
Yep.
And how? Like they don't check you. They don't.
Yeah, they check me. It's plexiglass though, so the metal detectors won't hit it. And if they try to pat me down, I have it strapped to my thighs. When they go over it, it feels like my body.
Okay. Wow. So you mean you can kind of morph and do what you need to do what you need to do. Interesting.
We got the plexiglass from, you know how they'll have signs up that says fire, exit, strategy, da-da-da-da-da? We took the plexiglass out of that, took it back to the thing, took the nylon string out of our pillows, used it to cut through the plexiglass, and then used that with a little bit of water on the concrete to sharpen them down.
Yep.
And then we made about 36 or 38 knives that day.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, innovation. I mean, you do what you do.
I can make a handcuff key out of a big lighter. I can do a lot of stuff.
Tell me stuff you can do. Yeah, I imagine you do what you do to.
I made the handcuff key when I was in lockdown because people will try to stab you when you're on your way to the shower, or they'll try to get out of their cell and stab you. It's happened a bunch of times. People getting killed on the way to the shower by somebody else. If you have to come out of your cuffs, you have to come out of your cuffs. Like, you just have to do it, otherwise you're going to die. So you make a handcuff key before you ever go to lockdown. That way you're good.
Can I ask you, when you say if you have to come out of your cuffs, can you explain what you mean, Thomas? Like,
if they're taking you to the shower and you're like this, and someone gets out of their cell, well, actually your hands behind your back, you know what I'm saying, usually.
Okay.
And somebody tries to come at you with a knife, you need to come out of the cuffs. You need to be able to get your key, hit them real fast, and be able to get out of the cuffs and be able to defend yourself. Because the officer's going to run. He or she is not going to stay there to help you.
Their life for you.
Exactly. You are either a hog-tied target or you are able to defend yourself.
I get it. Yes.
If they have a broom or something, they might tie their knife to the end of the broom and just stab you through the bars.
So you actually, Jimmy made a key, basically.
Yes, I did.
So you knew you could get out if you needed to.
Yes.
Quickly.
Yes.
It's like a whole nother world.
Yeah, it's crazy. Wish I could give it all back.
Yeah.
It's all fresh because I can't quit thinking about it. It's always there.
Yeah, I mean, when something's so traumatic for so long that you can't escape from, it gives you PTSD, but it also gives you like this just constant, continuous kind of. I don't think we were made to have things. I don't think humans were made to have that kind of stuff happen. It wasn't.
The only difference between me and a war vet is they get benefits. And their right partner that they were sleeping beside wasn't trying to kill them.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say is I don't think humans were made to live like this. I don't think our minds and our development, I don't think over the thousands of years.
Tell me why a 19-year-old had to be sent to prison, or first they tried to give me a life sentence, but tell me why a 19-year-old had to be sent to prison for robbing a store with a cap gun and didn't hurt anybody. And everybody from the witnesses to the police report says that I robbed it for food and rent money because I had a pregnant girlfriend.
And they still put you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
They didn't care.
The academics who probably might want to slap when you study this kind of stuff. Every single study that's legit shows that extreme punishment does nothing. Even in as an educator, it does nothing but create hate.
By the time I got out of prison, I knew how to cook meth 3 different ways. I know how to do a lot of without being incriminating, do a lot of other extremely high-level criminal activities that would probably give me a life sentence.
You learned
Each one of them. Oh, I got a PhD.
As a 19-year-old, you got your honorary PhD in
everything criminal.
Be a great criminal, because that's
I got taught how to break in houses and how to do safes with chess.
With what? Say again.
By using chessboard, by using chess, the game of chess, to simulate, like the guy, used to play chess, and he taught me how he used to rob businesses and stuff like that by using, chess, and he explained how he did it.
Your own PhD in the subject that, it's pretty intense. It's really intense. So, and now you help people to
I do. I try my best because I've been to the bottom of every part of life, and I can speak from every point of detriment. I can speak from a point of somebody who's been through abuse, somebody who's been through like a lot of shit, everything. Like throw it at me, and like I've been there, I've done that. Like I am that statistic. You know what I'm saying? You did my ACE score, like it's 9 out of 10 ACEs. So yeah, pretty.
Like I tell my kids, if you're going to be a bad guy, a criminal or whatever, you better be a good. I said none of this. I tease them because it's not even remotely. I just joke around. You better be good. Whatever you do, be good at it. And if you're going to rob a bank, I don't want to see like $50. I mean, you better, because either way, you're gonna. And I tease them, but it's not funny,
Even when I was selling drugs, I had a $500 bug detector that would detect Wi-Fi bugs, Bluetooth bugs, any kind of analog, digital bugs, anything, any kind of surveillance that was transmitted around me. I would be able to detect it. I did not play.
Wow. So I mean, I'm guessing that a part of the allure or what you needed, why you needed this is, I'm guessing, and this has got to be amazing for your self-esteem because you're really smart and you're really good, and all of a sudden people are looking up to you, and you're the boss, kind of. I mean, you're the
go-to.
Somebody special.
Like trash is finding somebody, yeah.
You're special.
And it made me feel good.
Yep. Yeah, you're special.
Leaving that,
people want to be. They want to be
one of the hardest things.
Yes, because that kind of, I mean, not to get all like, parasite, it's like psychology is on you, but people they want to feel important. They want to feel special, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the right way. And it's almost like a drug in a way. I mean, I know it. You just feel so good to feel like you matter. You matter.
The fact that I was a high-ranking Aryan Brotherhood, that how small of a percentage of people can say that? It's astronomical. So that made me feel good. But when I lost that, when I got shot and I left everything, I lost every bit of my identity and I became nobody. That was hard. That's where Life After Hate comes in to help people to reconnect.
So all of a sudden, you have no identity. None.
Yeah. All my reputation, I had contacts, literally, if I wanted somebody gone, I could have them gone.
It's power. That's powerful.
Yeah. And now I can't even call to get a pizza. I can't drive anywhere.
It's like,
it's a hard hit to the ego, it really is. But ego must be sacrificed.
Yeah, you know what? And what's sort of interesting, and I don't know if this is true or not. It's this is between you, yourself, and your God. But what you're doing right now, you can get to that level there too. And I think you are.
And see,
like, who does what you're doing? Who helps people?
I think for me personally, I'm satisfied with that worldly endeavor to feel that way.
Like what? To change what your focus is.
Yeah, to feel that overall, power, like, and all that crap. I've been there, done that. I didn't want it when I had it, and I didn't abuse it when I had it. I did good every step of the way when I had it. I can honestly say that. Like, I avoided war, bloodshed. I stopped people from dying. I did that. Yeah. So,
you had some of your own kind of.
Oh yeah. I'm a very good communicator. I read a book called Verbal Judo when I was in there that saved my life and set the path for me to learn how to, for lack of a better word, manipulate a situation to have a positive outcome.
So you're socially very, very gifted in that way. Yeah.
I can move people, groups. That's not easy. But
it's not the only way to measure intelligence. I'll tell you that. There's about a bazillion more. I absolutely get it. As a former teacher, some of my smartest kids, IQ, I don't care what the IQ is, they're going somewhere. And you have a sub skill, I totally get it. And being social like that is invaluable. You can't put a price on that one.
Didn't you say you had history and special education?
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is a crazy situation. I failed the 5th, 6th, and 7th and 8th grade. I tested out every year at the end because of my IQ being so high. But I was bored. constantly bored. Crazy, but they put me in special ed at first because they thought maybe I was like I had a slow learning disability. I just learned differently. I learned through picture memorization and mnemonics. I can memorize 15 pages to an item and just remember that item, and then bam, I can sit there and read it.
Yeah, the educational understanding and cognitive ability is in its infancy for special
Yeah.
ed. It's in its infancy.
So, like my son is having to learn the same problem the same way because it's navigating a system that's not set up for that kind of learning. But
exactly.
Yeah, and I didn't know I had this potential until after I had gotten locked up, gotten detoxed, and I started going to trade school.
You were like a kid.
Yeah. When I realized this, I was like, "Holy shit!" It's like somebody gave me a Ferrari
kind of
and said, "Yeah." I'm like, "Hell yeah, wow!" So I started devouring subjects, and I haven't stopped. I just haven't stopped. I'm a certified paralegal. I'm a journeyman welder.
You know that you've saved yourself.
I did. I have multiple trades, skilled multiple trades, certified in. Like I have, like all kinds of different.
I see all your.
Yeah. So, like, I'm capable, smart, and
when you
it just
start thinking that, realizing it's life changing. Like
it is. Once I realized what I could do, and then like I started absorbing. Like my vocabulary started to change when I started reading more and more.
When you read,
so now my vocabulary is like, depending on the crowd I'm talking to. If I go back to Jackson, go back to my hood, you're going to see me use a completely different set of English.
Absolutely.
But with you, or any kind of official police, whatever, you're going to get the CEO. That's what my wife calls the CEO voice. This right here.
CEO voice.
Yeah, it's the proper term to be able to get my point across to be able to talk to people. So I use my full vocabulary and the full extent. Well, in the hood and in prison, when I started using my vocabulary, I was shunned for that. So I learned to dumb it down.
Yeah, you want to be like
dumb it all the way down. Because I would go to people and talk, and they would look at me like I was stupid. And for a while, I thought they were just being dicks. And then I realized they didn't understand what the hell I was saying.
Talking over their head.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I didn't know that. So then I dumb it down.
They resent you for it too. So
they did. Yeah. So I had to dumb it down, and then I became a sleeper, basically, because then they didn't expect me to be, because I always sit back and watch and learn. I'm a people watcher. I watch situations. I'm able to see situations happen and unfold. Very good vision, like overall vision, with seeing situations, reading people, reading situations and how they're going. So that's helped.
It's a gift, and you figured it out, and
Yes.
Now you can use it to help people.